right, fight fans, our third bout of the evening. 4 rounds in the super welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He is wearing the white trunks with red lettering. He has a record of 2 victories, 6 defeats, 1 draw, 1 win coming by way of knockout. From Jacksonville, Florida, Darrell, the Prince of Perfection, Jones. And his opponent fighting out of the blue corner. He is wearing the black trunks with red trim. He weighed in at 150 pounds. He has 1 victory, 1 defeat, 1 win coming by way of knockout. De la Ciudad de México, Mexico City, Mexico, Jesus La Sombra Tavera. Referee Vincent Aku with final instructions.
Again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Back again at the Georgia Boxing Championship, round 1, and our third bout of the evening. We got Darnell Jones versus Jesus Tavera.
Well, I tell you what, Preston, tonight's a night of southpaws. Let's see how Jesus does.
We do. Oh, nice right hand with a southpaw. Darnell Jones comes out throwing haymakers.
Yeah, I tell you what.
Darnell Jones is 2-6-1 versus Tavera at 1-1. Both guys have experienced a loss in their professional career, and hopefully they learn from their loss. Some fighters can pack it in, some fighters can learn from it and come back better, Coach.
Well, I tell you what, Preston, these guys look a little bit sharper probably than their initial debuts. Jesus is doing a good job keeping his hands up, keeping that left foot outside of Darrell's right foot being a southpaw. But they both are throwing some haymakers, I'll tell you what, to get this fight started.
Again, Preston Halliburton here, the Barrister Boxing here again with Coach Marty Hill in Atlanta, Georgia. Georgia Boxing Championships, Sports Brand Properties, and Shea Bailey Promotions. We've got a tall left-hander versus your stocky Latin type of fighter. Jesus fighting out of the Doraville Boxing Club with Sugar Burt as one of his trainers. We know that any fighter in which he has is generally in good shape in their game, and they've seen a little bit of everything in the ring.
That's right, Preston. I've actually seen Jesus' amateur career a couple of times, seen him fight here locally. He's a good, fundamentally sound fighter, very tough.
Well, I'll tell you, the Prince of Perfection, Darnell Jones, has not quite been perfect, but he has been pretty stellar this first round. He's landed some nice shots, but we've seen in an earlier fight that doesn't mean that that's going to be the fighter that wins. Oftentimes, who's got the most gas in the tank in the end, Coach?
You got it. You got it right, Preston. Right now, these two guys are filling each other out a little bit, and you're right, exactly. Darnell Jones is that right-handed southpaw jab. It's coming out nice and slick and fast. But I tell you what,
Tavera with a nice body shot off the ropes, Coach. You like to see a young fighter go to the body like that, even early on in the fight. Wearing his opponent down, getting inside the kitchen. Somebody's getting burnt here in Atlanta, folks. Yeah. Nice left hand by the Prince.
Preston, I think you called it.
Wonderful exchange.
Jesus almost fell susceptible to that southpaw jinx.
The southpaw jinx is in effect tonight. Jesus says, no, sir, not here tonight. He comes back with his own combination.
He sure did.
Nice right hand by
Jesus. What a combination it is. And look at that Latin American machismo there.
He bangs his chest. Exchange in the center of the ring.
That's right.
This is beautiful, folks.
This is boxing at its best. This is what people pay to come see.
Shea Bailey
Greg
Promotions
Barkov.
here.
I tell you what, this is
Greg Barkov.
best.
They bring good fights here, folks.
Preston, you called it early in the fight. These last 3 fights that we have seen, I love the fact that these young fighters, even though it's their debuts, are doing a lot of quality body work. What are your thoughts on that?
Nice right hand to the body. Anytime a fighter shakes his hand that early in the fight, it hurt him,
Yeah.
Marty. He's professing
That's
too
a
much
round
of
of boxing there, Preston.
Great round. Coach, that was an exciting round. I'm going to have to give it to the red corner, to the Prince. I think sheer aggression early on and volume of punches. I think he landed some cleaner shots early on. He might have won that round.
I totally agree with you. When we got Jesus over here in the corner, at one point in time, I think he might have been one left hook.
Round 2
right out cut away from the southpaw, getting him out of here. He was able to post himself, come back, establish a jab, get back uphill, the middle of the ring, and bring the fight right back to Darnell Jones. That was a good round of boxing.
Good first round of boxing in our third bout of the evening, folks. Jesus Tavera, we're here in his corner, watching his trainer, trying to, it looks like, coaches his fighter to jab and hook off the jab. And I notice that Tavera is leading with hooks sometimes. You don't always want to see that. You want to see him work off a jab.
No, Preston, you're exactly right. When you throw that left hook or that right hook a little wide, it's one of the longer punches to get to your target and leaves you wide open to settle for straight shots.
That straight left hand's what we saw.
You got it. That's what rocked him the first time.
Right on the chin.
You got it.
The Prince of Perfection comes out, pawing with his jab. Nice right hand. He
go.
comes back with a hook. You know, I keep thinking that Mr. Jones, the Prince of Perfection, is going to use his jab and stick and move, but he likes to get in there and mix it with a shorter fighter.
For a tall, wiry guy, he's got some pop in that right hand.
He
Preston.
sure does.
He
throws a counter right hook.
Yeah. And I like the fact from being a southpaw, he's not relying on that big left cross. He's throwing that jab, throwing hooks off that jab, and then throwing that left hand off that.
Jesus throws the looping right hand, and that oftentimes lands on a southpaw, Coach. I like to see that punch on a southpaw, I do, especially a taller opponent.
And if the only problem he's doing, if he needs to keep that left foot of his outside of Darrell's right foot, so that way Darrell won't see that left foot coming.
Coach, I think you just said it best. It's a battle of positioning when you see a fight, a southpaw, a tall man, a short man, southpaw, right hand. It's a battle of distance and positioning.
You got it. And that's why we call it the sweet signs. That's why we call it the chess game of boxing. Not just
checkmate. If that right hand lands again, it'll be checkmate, Coach Hill. I'll tell you.
I tell you what, it's kind of funny to see. They're throwing a lot of straight shots, wide shots to the head. I would like to see a nice classic uppercut in there somewhere, the uppercut and a hook off that, and maybe a double, triple jab down the middle.
Well, traditional, conventional wisdom tells you that this distance is going to favor a taller fighter. If I'm Jesus' corner, I'm going to admonish my fighter to put his head on his opponent's chest. Let's make this a barroom brawl, and let's see which man has the tightest, shortest punches.
You got it. You got it. You cannot stay in what we call no man's land with a tall, lengthy fighter because he's going to pick you off like a sniper all day. He's got to get in his kitchen, like he just said. Put that head in Darrell's chest and go to work to that body.
I'll tell you, I like the distance Darrell Jones is fighting from, that middle of the ring. But Jesus is letting him stand in the middle of the ring. That's not where he wants to be.
And he's gonna eat that right hand jab and that left cross all day. And when Darrell gets good and ready, he's gonna throw a nice right uppercut off of that jab. Left uppercut off that jab.
I'll tell you, he does. Oftentimes you see Darrell, he spreads his legs a little too wide, and he gets off balance on that when he misses with a hook. He exposed himself just like then.
Right.
Jesus, nice combination.
There you go.
Oh, he comes back with a nice left hand. He was hurt.
Jesus
was hurt.
Shots down the middle are hurting Jesus.
Great exchange here, folks. Anybody's round. This is anybody's round.
Preston, you called it earlier. Jesus has got to close the distance. He's got to come forward. He cannot stay out there in no man's land.
And again, referee Jesus doesn't go to the neutral corner. He's giving his opponent a chance to recuperate.
I'll tell you what.
He gave his opponent.
I think he's out, Preston.
Darrell's up.
He's out.
He's up. The opponent's not in the neutral corner.
And that's giving Darrell more time. He probably bought himself about 3 or 4 extra seconds, Preston.
That is a very amateur mistake. That is a very amateur mistake.
Get him off the hook there, Preston.
That was a very amateur mistake. Very amateur mistake.
He would have been done. He would have been counted out if he went to the neutral corner and let the ref do his what? His job.
Young fighters out there, when you knock your opponent down, you don't stand there and cheer to the crowd and watch and admire your work. You go to a neutral corner and let the referee do his work.
Let the referee do his job. That's right. This fight would have been over. This young man would have been 2-1 with a knockout.
It would have been over.
Come back out for another 3-minute round
against a dangerous fighter.
You got it.
Now, of course, the round was going to Darrell early, but of course you got to give that round to Jesus. It would have to be a 10-8 round given the knockdown.
I tell you what, I think Darrell learned a great lesson from that round. He's got a good jab. It's strong. It's fast. He's got a nice left hand behind it. Use it. Stick and move. Stick and move. This will be an easy fight for him. But if he lets Jesus hang around and step forward behind some power, he's going to be in trouble.
Again, the ringside doctor wants to stop these fights. And I've seen it happen here before with the same physician. And I'm sure he's qualified medical physician. But in the boxing world, you got to let these guys, they've trained to come here to fight.
That's right. They train for 4 rounds. They train for 3 rounds. They train for 6. Let them come and get their work in.
He's hurt again.
Darrell,
I don't think he recovered. I don't think he ever recovered.
No.
Coach Hill.
No, I agree, Preston.
He's still not in the neutral corner.
He's still not in the neutral corner. He's still buying Darrell more time to get up. And again, he just cost himself another 3-4 seconds.
3-4 seconds.
Darrell has recovered. But I don't think Darrell's got the legs to keep going, Preston.
I think we're going to find out, Darrell.
He's got to clinch here, Preston. If he wants to buy some time,
Jesus is trying to close the gap. He's got his opponent hurt. Oh, nice spin move by Darrell. Great. The Prince with a great spin move.
But now he's fighting where Jesus wants him to be.
Inside, barroom brawl, fighting a phone booth.
You got it. There you go. He's got to use that range.
Now he's in the middle of the ring.
Sniper rifle. He just lost
the mouthpiece. So
and he bombs up some more time.
The referee steps in. Jesus goes to a neutral corner for the first time. He's learned his lesson, I think, Coach.
You think he's learned his lesson, Preston?
I hope.
I tell you what, he could be in the showers by now. Now, I like the fact that Darrell's corner is doing a smart thing over there, taking their slow time, rinsing the mouthpiece, getting their fighter an extra couple of seconds of rest.
The Prince of Perfection was ready to come with a rabbit punch there, I think, Coach Hill.
I'll tell you what. Oh, my goodness, that's a straight,
wow,
nice, strong right
just
hand
ate
there.
it off
And a
the
nice
chin,
left
but
cross.
he came back with just dogged determination.
These guys are throwing some
great
power
right
shots,
hand.
Preston.
Haymaker City.
And they're still standing there.
Downtown with the roundhouses. You know, I want
wow.
wow.
Change again, Preston.
Nice
Jesus
exchange
is
of
hurt.
punches. Throw boxing out the window. Throw your coaching out the window. These guys are just letting it hang out.
It's amazing to see guys in this weight class throwing the amount of power they're throwing, Preston. These guys are laying it all on the line.
Jesus' corner. Saying something in Spanish. I don't understand it, but
I think they're urging him forward to throw more punches.
I think they are too, Coach.
And unfortunately, he's right in the wheelhouse where he needs to be. This is where he needs to work, but he can't let his hands go. I tell you, Preston, these guys are throwing some power shots.
The crowd chanting, sweats falling off their heads, heated exchanges.
Uppercuts and hooks, Preston. This is what we like to see. This is boxing at its best.
Great fights here in Atlanta. Georgia Boxing Championships. I'll tell you, both these fighters are going to need some Tecate beer after this. I'll tell you that.
I think they need more than that, Preston.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness, that's a strong right hand there.
The Prince is caught again. He's not going to make it out of this round, Marty. It's going to be
I
tough.
think you might be right there, Preston. I don't know. He's made it this long. It's probably about 45 seconds to go.
Jesus looks like his gas run a little low here.
I tell you what, Jesus will get those hands up with this long southpaw. It only takes one punch. You do that better than anybody, Preston. All it takes is one.
When your fighter's hurt like this, and you get back in there, Coach, wouldn't you normally want to tell a young fighter, look, let's get our composure, let's get back to our jab, let's use our legs, let's get off first, punching combinations, let's step over to our right and throw the straight left hand and do what we know best.
You got it. When we got a young guy like Darrell here that's got the physical attributes more so than his opponent. He's got the reach, he's a southpaw, he's got power in both his hands.
He's got speed.
Fight smart.
But he's rugged, and he leaves his chin straight open.
Leaves it straight open. You're exactly right.
And it's going to be an early night if he doesn't watch out for it.
And that's what the corner's job is, protect this fighter from himself. You got to put that macho stuff aside and be smart, walk out here with the victory. If he does that, use that long reach, throw that southpaw jab, set that left hand up, go back to the body, stay away from this tough Latin American fighter, he might be in good shape. But I guess we'll find out next round, won't we?
Looks like we will. Georgia Boxing Championship here, folks. We've seen some wonderful fights here. We're going to be opened up. Well, the strange thing about it, I mean, both fighters have gotten wild at times, and Darrell Jones has an amateur career, 15-4. He's currently an IFL, holds a belt out of West Virginia, and is fighting out of Jacksonville, trained by Don Roberts, pretty good trainer. We know of him.
Well,
he's got his fighter ready.
Yeah,
it's just
he's in great shape. You're right.
It's a small ring, and it favors a brawler. And unfortunately, Darrell's resorting to brawling instead of boxing.
You got it. That goes back to what you just mentioned about what his trainer talks to him about the corner. Be slick, be fast, stay away, give this guy angles, and make him find you. Don't stand in front of you. Don't stand in front of him. You can make this fight easy. That's a sharp left hand.
Well, you don't have to look for Jesus because he's going to be right in front of you.
Right in front of you. You got it. There you go. Daryl's got that beautiful right hand going a little bit again, trying to find that range and distance. If he pumps that right hand out there, keeps that stick in front of
Jesus setting up an overhand right, Marty.
I tell you what, I don't see a whole lot of this round, or what I haven't seen a lot of this fight, Preston. A lot of head movement. They're not making these guys miss a whole lot.
I think a lot of them, they really burn out that first 2 rounds. There were some really heated exchanges in a tight ring. Their nerves get to them a little, and maybe they'll calm down here and do some boxing.
Yeah, I hope so. But I tell you what, this brawling's been pretty exciting.
Live professional boxing, Georgia Boxing Championship. We've seen barroom brawls here, folks. We've seen very little just tactical boxing. This is old-fashioned throwback, gentleman Jim, Max Schmeling type of boxing.
You got it. Standing in the phone booth, going toe-to-toe. This is what we want to see. This is what people pay to see, and this is what makes the sport of boxing entertaining, fun, and exciting.
But ironically, as a coach and as a fighter myself, I don't want to have too many of these as a fighter, and you don't want your fighter in too many of these brawls. No. You want him to win and use his tactical positioning and avoid a lot of those blows.
Preston, you know better than anybody with your extended amateur and professional career. When you come up and you've got less than 5 or 6 fights, you want your fighters usually to come in, get some learning experiences, get some learning lessons, and hopefully walk back out here the same way they came into the ring. You don't want your fighter to leave out of here damn much in capacity with less than 5 or 6 fights.
That's right. Wild right hands, flailing again, coach. The problem is that a learning lesson in the professional ranks can be often damaging. One, to not only your record, but also to your health. There's no headgear. The gloves are lighter, and these are grown men putting complete leverage behind every punch. They're trained professionals.
You got it. You're exactly right. And that's why you want your young fighters to learn to box. Brawl when you have to, but box. Get your victories, save it for another day, and let's keep on fighting. You want to leave it all in the ring, but you want to be smart in doing it.
Jesus corner yells to their fighters 30 seconds. Vamos, vamos, they yell.
These guys are throwing bombs. They're not boxing, they're brawling. That's a sharp right hand.
Jesus caught with a right hand by Darnell.
I think Daryl's guys put some back about him. Preston, what do you think?
I'll tell you what, they fight after the round. It's a brawl, folks. What a wonderful exchange.
Oh, my goodness. These guys are really going at each other.
They're going at it.
That was one heck of a fight, Preston.
Great fight, folks. Excellent fight.
How do you see that, Preston? How would you call that one?
Well, you're gonna have to. When you have a 4-round fight and you have 2 knockdowns, you almost have to have 3 10-8 rounds to overcome that. Just pure numbers. Don't tell the whole story, but pure numbers. You're gonna have to give the fight to Jesus. Actually, they're not calling the last one a knockdown.
So he's got 1 knockdown, which still would be the telltale sign.
It'd still be a telltale sign fight. I think the power punches and aggression. He had his opponent hurt. There's ring generalship there. I'm gonna have to go Jesus on this.
I agree with you. It's a great fight, tough fight for both fighters. I would like to see Daryl box a little more, use some of his physical attributes a little bit more to his own benefit. That long jab, got that southpaw stance in there. I think he could do a little bit more and kept Jesus off of him. Jesus started coming forward towards the end, and I think that made a huge difference. Great fight for both young fighters.
Wonderful exchange. Both fighters trying to convince themselves and the crowd they won, but I don't think that's going to have any effect on the experienced judges here. But we'll go to the scorecards here, and our announcer is about to convey the results here.
I tell you what, Preston, it's been entertaining this evening to see some good young talent coming out of the state of Georgia. I think boxing's in good hands right now here in the state. Georgia Boxing Commission, Georgia Boxing Championship here tonight. It's been very entertaining, and we encourage anyone that's a fan of boxing to come out and enjoy these wonderful events.
It has been a wonderful event, and we've got some wonderful sponsors here. We've mentioned them a couple times. One of the main sponsors was this Mix One energy drink. We've seen them in a lot of the fights here in Atlanta. We've got 680 The Fan, Xfinity, CarSmart, Mobile Graphics, and Best Auto, among another many people who have bought tables here, purchased tickets. I want to thank everyone supporting Georgia boxing this evening. And Coach Hill's been here with us for the last 2 fights. And Coach, do you have anything coming up? Any fighters getting on the horizon, getting ready to exchange?
Yeah, Preston, like I said, what we're doing over there in the Dunwoody, Sandy Springs area, we got some young guys coming up through the ranks, some amateurs. But like I said before, we specialize more so the executive white-collar boxing. You know, we want to bring
All
folks
right,
like
ladies
this
and
that are
gentlemen,
fans
before
of the
we
sport of
read off
boxing
the official
into the
scorecards,
boxing
let's hear it
community,
for
letting
both
them know
warriors.
that you get a tremendous workout from the sport of boxing.
We'll go to the rings.
All three judges scored it identical, 39-36, representing the Paul Murphy Boxing Club, Jesus La Sombra Tavera!
Well, there you have it, folks. As we suspected, Jesus wins the decision. The crowd likes it. The local boy wins.
Let's give it up for Jesus Tavera! Increasing that record, just one more victory. How does it feel?
Well, I feel great, and you know, I want to take my corner because without them, I wouldn't do it. You know, they keep pushing me. You know, I'm a Mexican warrior, so this is what I do. And you know, I ain't gonna let nobody stop me for anything. You know.
Definitely, for those out there in the back, they possibly couldn't see. There were words exchanged. Anything to what those words were?
Say what?
There were words exchanged. We saw it going back and forth, and you dropped your
It
hand.
didn't hurt me at any time. You know, I know how to take the punches, and I've been in the ring with the best fighters in Atlanta. So you know, to him, I give him credit because he stayed with me in the ring. But you know, I just couldn't feel it. You know.
We are so proud of you. Congratulations, everybody.
I want to say thanks to my family, you know, my cousins, all of my sisters, everybody. Thanks for coming. I love you. Arriba México.
Viva Mexico. Jesus Tavera.